So I recently shared a few videos on YouTube and Instagram to promote my sketchbook release, and to my surprise, when I checked back on the video on YouTube a couple hours later, it looked completely different, and I thought to myself, am I tripping or does this look a little bit AI? It's got all the weird elements and artifacts of an AI upscaled video. It looks so smeary and high contrast, just very unnatural, and it's especially apparent to me because these are my sketches. I know how my sketches look. I knew the exact lines that I put down on that sheet of paper, and I knew that these were not my lines. So that prompted me to look into this problem a little bit more, and apparently I'm not the only one having this issue. Savannah XYZ on X said, "Hey team YouTube, any way to turn off your forced AI slop filter that makes my art look like hot garbage? I didn't consent to this. Thanks." Now this looks exactly like what happened to my drawings. If you look at the two images side by side, there's a lot of over sharpening, a lot of high contrast on the version that is edited by the YouTube filter. And if we just take a look at the tip of this pen, you can see it's actually adding detail and contrast to a place where there was supposed to be none. If this change is permanent, team YouTube, I am going to be forced to move my short form content to other platforms because my art is being significantly altered. And as an artist, I can't find myself disagreeing with Savannah here because the content is in fact being altered. A lot of other people have also chimed in saying they've been having the same issues. Thank you for talking about this. I've been annoyed by this for a bit now. I thought I'd noticed something strange across videos. Weird. Hope they make this opt-in or remove it completely. I 100% agree with that. We should be given a choice. Now, obviously, anytime you bring up AI, it's very polarizing and you're going to have people on both sides of the spectrum. So there's actually been a lot of responses to this post saying stuff like, this has literally nothing to do with AI. This is bog standard image compression, which has been around for decades. That's not AI. Probably just a sharpening filter or some funny compression. I don't think this is AI. It honestly seems like a compression thing. You should try uploading your videos in a different format or resolution and experiment to see if it fixes it. And somebody replied to that saying some new compression legit uses AI upscaling, but most of them are currently user preference / activated and not forced site-wide. Again, that's exactly what most of us are having a problem with, is why is this not an opt-in feature instead of being applied on everybody's video? So obviously I had a gut feeling that this was some kind of AI upscaling because the video that is on my YouTube shorts looks so oily and smeared. And that's not something you get from just a simple sharpening filter, which I've seen when I upload videos on TikTok. So let me just show you guys an experiment that we can run here, okay? So I've captured the exact same frame from both my YouTube shorts video and my Instagram video. Now you can obviously see that the YouTube shorts one has been highly sharpened. There's a lot more contrast and the lines just look unnaturally clean to me. Whereas on the Instagram version, you can see there's a lot of softer lines, a lot more gray, a lot less contrast, and as a result, a perceived lack of sharpness. But that is the original video. That's the video that I intended for you guys to see. Now, for a fun little class experiment, let's just go to edit this image, because if YouTube is just simply applying a sharpening filter like those people are saying, when I sharpen this image all the way, we should be getting a very similar result. Let's see if we do. So we're gonna just crank that sharpness all the way up and done. Now that exact same Instagram frame is looking about the same in terms of contrast and resolution to the YouTube Shorts frame. But here's the problem, okay? Zoom in a little bit. Look at the two hair strands on the side of the face. On my sharpened version, there is a double stroke on each hair strand, and that's kind of how I drew it. YouTube Shorts decided to compress those two hair strands into single smooth strokes. Now let's take our attention to the side of the arm. I went across the outside of the arm twice, so there's a little double stroke in that indent. YouTube decided, let's not do that. Let's merge that into a single line and make it super smooth. Look at the line that goes up the front of her shoulder. In the over sharpened version, sure, it's got more contrast, but that is exactly how I drew it. YouTube decided, let's not do that. Let's alter the trajectory of some of these lines and let's just fade it out entirely so that it looks smoother. This is not just a simple sharpening filter. Unfortunately, this has been AI upscaled and it's got all the artifacts to prove it. So just for the sake of experiment and confirming my findings, I posted more videos today, again promoting my sketchbook. Once again, they involve my sketches, very high contrast, black and white, so we can see the differences. So here's the quote-unquote YouTube enhanced version, what I like to call the slopified version, and here's my original. Now obviously my original is softer, it's got less contrast, and at first glance it looks like it's got less resolution, but let's zoom in. Let's just zoom in and focus a little bit on the side of the helmet here. You can clearly see that the way I've shaded the dragon wing on the side of this helmet was done using hatches. lines. Now, somehow on the YouTube slopified version, these lines have been turned into mush. They look like soft shading. They look like I blended it with my finger. Again, that is not a simple sharpening filter. Let me just show you. Once again, we're going to take that exact same frame from Instagram. We're going to just crank up the sharpness and check it out. We've got more contrast. We've got more perceived resolution, but we're still maintaining the hatches on the side of the helmet. You can still see the lines. Versus on YouTube, they're gone. And AI has simply decided that my hatches were not smooth enough for its liking. So it decided to just remove that from my art. Amazing. That's not the only spot either. Look beneath the helmet. Look at the shadow beneath this helmet. You would think that maybe I smudged over that with my finger to make it look smoother. I didn't. In the original, it's all done using hatching, very closely placed lines. Now, if you are not an artist, you might be watching this video and thinking to yourself, what difference does that even make? It's such a minor change. But this matters to me because as an artist, this is my language. The marks that I put on the paper, they're unique only to me. If another artist is trying to learn from my sketches and study the way I draw, they might watch this YouTube Shorts video and they might think to themselves, okay, I gotta do a little smudging when I need to create shadows. When clearly, that's not what I did. That is not my original drawing. Now, there's another YouTuber called Red Shell who made a fantastic video covering this topic. And I want to show you guys a couple of clips that really put the nail in the coffin for me.
Okay, so here's a Reddit thread that I found, r/YouTube. It says, YouTube Shorts are almost certainly being AI upscaled. Now, OP here says, been having an issue for several days wherein Shorts looked smeary or as if there was an oil effect applied to them. That's actually a good way to put it. It's like an oil painting sort of look. But I just realized today that it's very likely some form of AI upscaling being applied to the videos. For instance, here's Hank Green from a normal looking short that I took a screenshot of earlier. And here he is less than 12 hours later. Now, you may not immediately see it, but if you scroll down in the post here, they did some excellent work where they took different screenshots at different resolutions and compared them to the original. So the original is here in the bottom center. And when you look at Hank's ear, you can clearly see that there's some kind of AI upscaling going on, especially on this upscaled 1080p.
Now, this is no longer a process of simply adding sharpness and perceived contrast. This is actually altering the original content of the video. You can see it's adding a very defined and high contrast shadow to the inside of the ear that is not present on the original. It also decided to add a light streak on the inside of the top of the ear that was again not present on the original. The actual shapes of the anatomy of the ear itself has already been altered.
It's very clear to see what appears to be upscaling artifacts in the bottom screenshot that you wouldn't expect to see from a simple resolution change. The most telling sign for me is that the hair looks like plastic in the upscaled version, which seems fairly common to me among AI upscaling models. So I pulled up my short, the screen capture from my phone. Where there's like high contrast areas, it's most apparent. It's like this sort of sharpening or outline effect. And then in low contrast areas, like the area of my shirt here, the wrinkles in my shirt, where it's sort of dark and there's not a ton of data, it's got this oil painting kind of look to it, but it's inconsistent across the board.
And that is actually exactly what happened to my sketches. So in the areas where there's a clear distinction between a dark line and the white sheet of paper, it's increasing the contrast, it's adding that perceived sharpness. And then in the areas where there's a little bit more ambiguity, where I'm using hatching to create grays and shadows, exactly like he said, it's got like an oil painting smear. It just blends all my lines together and it doesn't really know what to do with that detail. Again, it's not a simple sharpening filter. This is an AI upscale that YouTube is using without actually telling us or getting us to consent to it. They've not given us a choice. This has not been announced and it's just being rolled out across all these shorts.
I'm not going to put my voice out there where I've let the machine, so to speak, do the work for me. But when you see that short that clearly has some kind of AI upscaling on it, I think it's going to lead people to think that I am using AI to create my videos, or that it's been deep faked, or that I'm cutting corners somehow. And that's important to me. When you notice something has been made with AI, I think it does sort of erode that trust. It makes you question the reality of what you're seeing. Is this actually real? The trust of my audience is the most important thing that I have as a YouTube creator. And replacing or enhancing my work without my consent or knowledge with some kind of AI upscaling system, not only I think erodes that trust with the audience, but it also erodes my trust in the platform of YouTube. If they're going to roll this kind of thing out without my knowledge or permission, what else are they doing in the background with my content and with my data in order to optimize the platform?
That's exactly it. And funny enough, that's the exact same thought that I had myself when I saw my own video on YouTube Short. The moment I saw it, I was like, this looks kind of like AI. Why is it so over sharpened? And then I started thinking, oh my God, are other people also going to notice this? Like, what if people start thinking that I'm using AI to make this video, to enhance this video, when that is clearly not my intention? You know, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to connect with you guys in an authentic way, in that you can see my drawings exactly as I see them, not through the lens of some kind of smeary, oil painty, slopified AI version that's been somehow deemed to be better than what I put on paper and what I captured with my own camera. You've altered all of our art without our consent.
But I haven't seen anyone so far talk about this as far as a terms of service shift here on the YouTube platform, to where you give them permission to implement some kind of AI upscaling AI system on top of your content. If I were given the choice, I certainly would not agree to that. I would not allow YouTube or any other platform, Meta, to apply some kind of artificial intelligence to my work.
Could not have said that better myself. Now, if I were personally given the choice to apply an AI upscaling filter to all my videos, there is absolutely no way in hell I would opt into that. And I'm quite sure a lot of other artists on this platform feel the same way. What's crazy is I actually uploaded this new video today onto YouTube Shorts as well as onto Instagram Reels just to test this theory out. I actually recorded this, but at first, when this video first got uploaded onto YouTube Shorts, it looked normal. It looked kind of like the Instagram version. It didn't look upscaled. It didn't look smeared or oil painted. And I thought to myself, hey, maybe this is just like a beta feature that they're rolling out and they're not actually giving it to everybody. But to my surprise, an hour later, I checked back on the same video and it's been smeared. Here's the exact same video on Instagram. Now, this is so much better of a viewing experience. This is so much more authentic. This is how I intended my drawings to look when you guys see it. There's no over sharpening here. There's no extremely high contrast. You get to see all of the marks that I put down on paper exactly the way I intended. That is the unaltered original form of my art. Now, my question to YouTube is why? Why are we doing this? There are quite a few explanations for this floating around. I doubt this is anything nefarious. It's most likely that YouTube is just trying to save more compressed and low resolution versions of these videos, but apply an AI upscaling when you view them so that it appears as though their videos are actually more high resolution than they actually are. Again, it's just corporate cost cutting. Some people have also mentioned that maybe they're just trying to apply an AI look to everything so that you get used to looking at AI slop. And eventually we won't be able to tell what's real and what's not, because even the real videos end up looking like AI. Now, I doubt that's the case because I don't think it's that nefarious, but whoever is at YouTube, whoever's in charge of this, whoever this message can reach, please guys, this is not the way to do it. You're tanking the experience for all of your audiences. This, quite frankly, just does not look good. Now, for those of you watching this video right now, let me know in the comments if you've also experienced something similar, if you feel the same way that I do about this. And if you guys do feel the same way, let's make some noise. Okay, let's share this message around and let's try to get YouTube's attention on this, because this is not working, especially for artists. Okay, if you're trying to take short form content of your art and make videos online, the very last thing that you need is an AI upscale algorithm deciding that your lines are a little bit too messy. So let me just smoothen all of that over for you. And in the process of doing so, remove all the humanity in your art. It's ridiculous. Anyways, guys, so I just really wanted to talk about this because it's been pissing me off. You know, I'm trying to show you guys my sketches, and YouTube Shorts just decided for me that no, this is not what we're going to show the people. No, we're going to just smoothen this out for you. We're going to enhance your drawings for you and show them a smoothened over version of your sketches. It's freaking ridiculous. So whoever's in charge of this at YouTube, please reverse this. Okay, stop this. Stop it. Anyways, guys, if you guys want to see more art-related content, subscribe to my channel, check out my Patreon for monthly tutorials and process videos where I help you guys on your art journey. And the videos that I've been showing you guys are actually sketches that I've been making in my very own sketchbook. I've made my own custom sketchbook. This is one of my favorite things that I've ever made. I'm extremely proud of it, and I'm so very grateful to be able to share this with you guys. So it's available to order for 10 days only, and by the time this video releases, I think you have 2 more days. For any support that you guys decide to show this project, I am so very, very grateful. Truly, thank you guys so much. None of this would be possible without you guys, and I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. And just before I leave, okay, I don't want to hate on YouTube. This video is not meant as hate on YouTube. I actually love YouTube. YouTube is my favorite platform out of all the social media platforms because they actually treat their creators quite well. Every once in a while, people, companies, we can all make mistakes. We take a step in the wrong direction, but we can always course correct, and this is just meant to be a form of tough love. I want to get this message out there. Hopefully more people can also amplify this message, and hopefully we can get this reversed so that our videos can just look like regular videos and not some AI enhanced slop. Okay.